Hello and welcome to Axumawian Media. My name is Tabtu and I'll be hosting Inside Tigray, a show that will give you a Tigrayan perspective on global, continental, and statewide affairs. Please tune in, listen, engage, and participate for an insightful and constructive discussion. Welcome to Inside Tigray. So today we have Semien Hagos with us today. Some of you may know Semien Hagos. She's a part of TPN, and she's also part of the planning committee of Waela Tigray. Semien, welcome. We're so happy to have you, and it's so good to connect with you guys while planning Waela. I know a lot of people are really excited about it. So yeah, it's a great opportunity to actually speak to you about this. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So as many of you know, Waela Tigray will be in June. A lot of people are very excited about it. It's going to be held in Dallas. So we just thought of getting someone from the committee to actually ask questions about Waela, for the sake of not only transparency, but knowing actually what are we going to Waela for? What is Waela going to be about? And also so that we can plan our days that we have there. It's only 3 days. So planning those days accordingly, making sure that we're aware of the events that are going on. I think that's very important. So Semien, just tell us more about Waela Tigray. How was it? Why was it established? And how was it established? And who is currently part of planning it? And how does it really affect part of planning it? And how does it really affect the community in Dallas?
Yeah, absolutely. So Waela Tigray came to be as an event through the Tigray Communities Forum North America, to be able to bring more people in the diaspora together and help raise funds to aid in purchasing a community center in different member Tigray communities each year. So what's really wonderful about Waela, I view it as kind of a homecoming, right? Going so long without seeing my friends in different cities, but then being able to gather in a new city each year, be engaged in the conferences that are happening throughout the weekend, also getting listened to a lot of great live music, eating great food, getting to see a new city, and then being able to know that all of our funds are going back to being able to help build up that city even more. So that's kind of a little bit of how Waela came to be. And as far as who's involved in it each year, so there's an application process each year to pick the next host city of Waela Tigray. They do need to be a member community of the Tigray Communities Forum North America organization. And then through that, once the host community is selected, they work in close collaboration with Tigray Communities Forum, and then they also work in close collaboration with their local TPN chapter and TPN nationals. And then, I guess in regard to where the funds go to after this event, the majority of the funds go to that host community to help build their center, or at least help be like seed money to help build their center. And then proceeds also go back to the forum so that they can use that to fund community initiatives across North America, help with programming, and also our annual scholarship.
Okay, great. So one thing that I think you said that's very important is the fact that it goes back to the community. The funds are not, I think a lot of our expectations in the last 2 years has been send everything back to Tigray, and that's the final, because of the conditions that we were in. But I think it's very important also to understand the need to build community outside of Tigray, because without having that strong base outside, both economically and socially, we are not equipped to actually have the manpower, have the financial kind of status to be able to help in Tigray. So I think a very important quality I see in Waela is the fact that it does pay a lot of attention to the diaspora that needs support, needs to be elevated to really good positions in terms of financially, and also in terms of opportunity. And it gives that collaboration and networking opportunity for amongst Tagaru to be able to actually help each other out, and which I think is very important, creating a very solid community. So I think Waela, in a sense, it differs in that way, because it really does hold the diaspora simultaneously to what it does in Tigray and all their efforts and all the community it helps, and then therefore helping Tigray by default. So it does hold, it does balance out a lot for me. So just, I mean, we're so excited about it. I mean, I'm very excited. Like it's going to be my first Tagaru event in the US. So I'm
really,
yeah,
that's so exciting.
So and it has a very good reputation, which is why I'm definitely going to Waela. So I'm very excited. So just tell us more about what you've got planned in terms of the itinerary. What kind of events are there? What should we expect? What should people bring? Is there anything that people need to be aware of in terms of how they should dress, how they should act, all these things?
Yes, I can go over those details. I know they're super important. So the actual conference, the main event is going to be taking place June 16th through the 19th at the Mesquite Convention Center. However, we do have our soccer tournament starting earlier than that. So all of our wonderful soccer team players are actually coming into Dallas to start playing in their tournament on June 14th, Wednesday. So they'll play on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we will then on Friday or on Thursday, actually, we'll be having a leadership conference for TPN leaders across the nation that will be coming here. So we'll have a really great conference hosted by TPN National for them. Fridays where a main event kind of starts kicking off. So we'll have a welcome that evening. It's going to be our evening formal gala. So definitely as far as things to bring your cocktail gown or dress, dress to the nines. That's definitely like a more fancy type of formal event. During that evening, we'll have keynote speakers. We'll be also announcing who has received our TPN scholarship for the year. And then there's going to be a live singer and band and DJ that evening. And also some auctions, things like that going on. On Saturday, we'll have some workshops. And then what I'm really excited for actually that's going to be new is we're having a Building Your Brand brunch. And it's going to be, we're going to have different food trucks outside, mimosas inside. It's going to be a fun event for like the young people to be able to come, network, and then a great opportunity for us to actually get them registered for the conferences that'll kick off on Saturday afternoon. So they'll get their name tags, pick up their packets, do some early bird networking, and then that's when we'll go into our main conferences, and those will go through. So it'll be Saturday, we'll have 2, and then Sunday we'll have another one. And the main theme of the conference is building bridges. So our conference speakers will cover topics like building bridges locally in our communities. So in the Dallas community is an example, then building bridges between our communities in North America. So being able to really capitalize on all of the great things that our communities are doing in different states, but being able to collaborate with each other more, learn from each other's experiences. So we're not duplicating efforts as much as we have been in the past. And then also, what I'm really excited for is the panel about building bridges back to Tigray. So how we can dedicate our time and effort towards helping rebuild Tigray in ways that maybe look different than just donating money, which is very important, but also giving our communities here in the diaspora more opportunities to engage that go beyond reaching into our pockets. And on Saturday evening, we'll have our cultural gala. So that's when you need to bring your zuria. We will be all dressed up in cultural attire and our braids, our jewelry. So it'll be a great night, great live performances that evening. We'll also do another auction that evening as well. And then on Sunday, that's going to be when Run for Tigray is happening, which if you want to register for that, registrations are live online. And that'll happen in the morning. We'll have another networking brunch in the afternoon before our final conference panel. And then we'll have some workshops and then a community gala in the evening. Monday, I forgot to mention, that's when we're having family day. So we'll have a boat ride, a barbecue outside. So there's a lot going on. I didn't even mention our basketball tournament that's happening too. There's a lot of moving parts to Waela, tons of ways to have a great time. And I hope we're giving our audience enough ways to participate throughout the weekend.
Okay, so interesting. Actually, I think I said it was up until Sunday, but you just mentioned it's up until Monday. Yeah.
Yep.
So Mondays where the family events are taking place?
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be family day. So we'll do a boat ride not too far away from the venue and have a park to be able to do a picnic, barbecue. So that'll be for all of our people that are still here on Monday. It's going to be a holiday, Juneteenth. So some people will have off of work.
Okay, great. Okay, so I have a question actually. So you mentioned cultural clothing being involved on Saturday. So I mean, this is a very, maybe this might be an ignorant question, but I know the women are wearing zuria, but what are the demands that we have of the men? What kind of clothing should men
There we go.
we need to bring this to the forefront?
Yeah, I'm expecting them to be like in full white, like the white pants, the white top, having their, netzala and their hats. Like I'm expecting them to dress to the T's as well.
Yeah.
So who knows? I might refuse entry if I don't see them dressed up. Just kidding.
I second this. I don't mind standing at the door with you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I second this because I think the men, you guys have to take responsibility because it's been so long since I see every single event. Women are dressed, they've got their zuri on, they've got their hair done, and men are just coming in denim. And it's just not fair. It's just not fair. So men need to step up their game, definitely. Okay, so this sounds like a very fun-packed couple of days. It has a lot of energetic kind of themes to it in terms of sports and team sports and stuff like that. So I think there's so many different elements to it, and it also has like family day, so it's kids friendly, which is very important to a lot of people. In terms of where can people stay, and how what is provided in terms of guidance of where they can stay and transportation and what can be done around that.
Yep. Yeah. So we've made it pretty easy as far as where to stay. It's literally connected to the venue. So we have a hotel block at the Hampton Inn that's connected right to the Mesquite Convention Center. So people can wake up, grab free breakfast downstairs. There's free parking at that hotel as well, and then walk straight into the venue from the hotel. It's connected, so they don't even have to go outside. In regard to I believe you said, wait, you didn't say ticketing, did you? I missed your second question. Making it easier for our guests.
Transportation as well. I guess you answered it because you said if it's connected to the where the convention center is, then they don't really need much transportation. But if they did, are there should they hire cars? What would you recommend?
Yeah, so I would say we have everything pretty jam-packed at the venue. Also, to get to the basketball courts or the soccer tournament where the field is, everything's within maybe a 10-minute drive, if not less than that. So things are close by. I'd recommend Ubering actually if you don't want to deal with renting a car. Also, the Mesquite Convention Center is about 15 minutes from downtown Dallas or uptown to downtown Dallas. So it's really actually accessible to get to the main scene if you want to. But yeah, you could rent a car, but I think there's going to be enough going on at the venue that maybe you want to Uber. And then as far as meals, right, we'll have food trucks at the venue in the morning or in the afternoons for brunch and lunch and dinner. So we're bringing the food to people so they don't have to leave if they don't want to. And then, one thing I wanted to throw in, that's why I had ticketing on my mind, is it will be free for children 13 and under, and then also high school students, if they want to provide their student ID, entrance will be free for them too, which will make it easier for families, right? If you're traveling with a family and many kids, it gets kind of pricey to have to pay for that many tickets. So wanted to make it very clear that, high school and under, it's free, but high schoolers need to just provide a student ID.
Okay, that's great actually. I mean, one of the thoughts I have when it comes to a lot of events are the fact that, I mean, I'm being very brutally honest here. A lot of events organized in our community do not live up to expectations because they charge so highly, and what is provided is not that great, and people sometimes go home disappointed. And this is something that I've heard repeatedly in other, and in other events all around the world. And I think it's really good that Waela is holding its standards to a level where people are satisfied after the event. It's not just about generating money to send back home, but people also feel like they're spending money and they're getting something out of it. Because I mean, if people wanted to send money, they could just send money. Why are they coming to your event? You have to sell your event. Your event has to be, in a way, at a standard that is acceptable for the price people are paying. So it's kind of a good point that you raised there, that you're giving people, especially families with loads of kids, a break, having
We want to give them an experience.
an
Really.
experience. Exactly. So families that are, that you've got 4 or 5 kids and they're all in school under 13, I mean, this gives you guys a break, and it gives you guys to the opportunity to be able to bring all your kids without breaking the bank. So I think that's a very good step that you guys have taken. So speaking of money, I think it's very important when it comes to events like this that there's a lot of transparency around the funds raised. And I know you kind of mentioned it earlier, but just to go into, say, for example, taking last year's Waala, what exactly happens after the event in terms of how the money you generate does that get published publicly? Is that something everyone will know about? And exactly what you do with that money, will that be a very transparent process? Will we have an idea of where the money has gone? Um,
Yeah, absolutely. So following the event, we will spend about a week, tracking down, if we didn't already have it in our budget that we've been using throughout planning, tracking down, any donations we might have gotten during the event, or if we were selling, food at any point, like any type of money or that we were getting, trying to gather that, making sure we know exactly where it came from, putting it in the right category. So then we can really make, that do an audit and then present that to our community. So we definitely still plan, like last year, holding that audit meeting that's open to the general public via Zoom. I would assume is how we're going to do it again, where we go through all the financials, what it actually costs to pull off the event, and where exactly the money's going to. So we'll be able to actually give dollar figures, not just percentage right now, but dollar figures to show exactly what's going back to the Dallas community to help us build our center, exactly what's going back to Tigray Communities Forum to invest in future developments, and then even what's going back to Tigray, which is something that we're excited to be able to do. Our scholarship is actually open to people that are not only in the U.S. that are in back home as well, but this year we are also going to be donating funds back to Tigray as well. So we'll be able to break that down, and everyone will be able to know exactly where funds went from this.
Yeah, and I hope other people, people that are not in the US are listening to this when you said the scholarship is open to people outside of the US. Does that include people from Tigray, people from that are currently in Ethiopia? Does that
We
include?
had applicants. Yep, we definitely had applicants from outside of the U.S. And our scholarship committee has been working really hard on reviewing all the applications that came through. So we're really excited to get to announce who the recipients are on Friday evening.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, that's really great that you guys have, expanded the pool of people that you guys select from. And I think, yeah, that's commendable. So okay, so so you kind of mentioned things about the funds and things like that. Just a question about previous Waatlas. So what kind of things has the money generated from Waatla? What kind of things has it been invested in previously in the past years?
So it would go directly towards their community center. That's the main objective of why we're coming together to plan for a year, and it's directly going towards building that center where in the future we could have tutoring sessions and have people even sell things from our community out of, and even rent out that space to other communities. So I see this at least like in the Atlanta community with their center, they rent it out to other communities. So, Tigray community is actually making money off of other groups. It'd be something great to be able to do here in Dallas, especially having been a community established here since the 80s, if not earlier. They were raising funds for so many years to be able to build a community center here, and then donated all of those funds once the war started in Tigray, and donated towards those efforts. So it's a very humbling experience to be able to help build, to help create this event for my community, to be able to help refill that fund that was used to be able to support our people.
Absolutely, I can only imagine. Okay, and how do people become sponsors, vendors, donors? What's the process to that? And where can they get further information of how to, if they wanted to pursue that, how would they be able to pursue that? And bearing in mind, I mean, there's not that long left until Waela. So is it too late for them to register now to become sponsors and vendors and donors? And
yeah. Absolutely not too late. We are here about 2 weeks to Waela, and no, it is not too late. So they can go on the forum's website, tegaruforumna.com, and they can become a sponsor on there, or a donor on there, or a vendor. They also can visit our link tree, which is just linktree / Waela Tigray 2023. And that's going to have all the information if they want to get info about the basketball tournament, the 5K, the how to be a vendor, how to be a sponsor, anything, how to be a volunteer, day of volunteer at the event. That information is being updated live. So we tried to minimize the amount of links that are spreading around. So they can either go on the forum's website or that link tree and be able to access things.
Okay, great. So what are the benefits of becoming a sponsor or a vendor or a donor? What do they get out of it?
Yeah, so in regard to being a vendor, I think there's a lot of cool opportunities there. There are so many different businesses, small businesses that popped up in the last 2.5 years. And I think it's a great way to showcase the creativity of so many people in our community by being a vendor. Also, a lot of those vendors are donating funds straight back to Tigray. A lot of them are not even pocketing the money themselves. So I think it's a great way to be able to give people a platform. And I think this year we've done a really great job actually of incorporating so many different types of organizations to where they feel like they can use our platform, and we welcome it. So yes, if you haven't become a vendor yet, please do, because I'd love to walk through that vendor room and see so many different names and so many different causes that all end up supporting Tigray people. In regard to sponsorships, there's different levels. So they'll see that online. I think it goes gold or diamond or gold to platinum level. And there's different perks. So if they wanted to be like a platinum level, I think it's, they get a table, reserved table at the event. And if they wanted a vendor booth, they could have one at the event free of charge. Their name might be published somewhere on our website, different perks like that, maybe some opportunity to speak and address the audience. So there's different levels, but I think one of the coolest things is that even if there's a donor or sponsor, being able to actually see the community that you're putting money into, and just how many of us there are here in Dallas, and how maybe a couple of dollars will end up being part of the seed money that helps build something so wonderful for future generations here.
Yeah, absolutely. So Just a quick question about the artists, because I know many people are going to be so excited about the artists. I mean, we love Tagaro artists, we support Tagaro artists all the way. And tell us about who's going to be there, what days are they going to perform? Will it be like a very kind of would it be a concert as such, or would it just be like a performance? How is that going to be situated?
Yep. So we got feedback, and we've taken the feedback that we got from last year of people wanted more time of the artists. So we took that into account when we were looking at entertainment for this year, and it will be a concert. So they'll have, I think it's at least, I think it's 3 to 4 hours. Don't hold me to it, people, but there'll be quite some time of them performing each of the evenings. So on Friday night, we'll have Ephraim and Solomon Karar there, as well as DJ Divino and the full band. So that'll be great. This will be the first time that Waela is actually going to have live entertainment Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Usually Friday night's just a DJ. So we're going all out. So don't miss Friday night. It'll be a good experience. And then Saturday, I'm personally very excited to see Salamawi again. She's a wonderful performer live. So she will be there on Saturday night, as well as Solomon Kurad. And then on Sunday evening, we'll have Ephraim, Berhana Haile, and Solomon Karar. So, and then the full band as well. Davina will be there the whole weekend. So it'll be a wonderful, wonderful time. Lots of, I think we'll have lots of memories from the evenings.
And we all know Tagaro loves to dance. So you heard it here. You will get your opportunity to dance. They've taken your feedback, which is very important, actually. Feedback, that's actually very important. The fact that you mentioned that, you know, you interact with people who attend your events and you take on board things that would, you know, the people who actually attend it want to be changed, and things that they would like to be a bit different the next year.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's very positive.
Formal feedback sessions. We did a formal feedback session. So that's where we used a lot. We were taking notes during it. And that was actually the first meeting that the Dallas team was joining in regard to Waela, knowing that we were going to have Waela in our city the next year. And we joined that, took our notes, and took it seriously, because at the end of the day, we want to create that experience, and we want people to come from all over. We want to welcome them to our city, and it's only going to get bigger and better from here on out. So I know there's probably going to be a lot of feedback from Dallas, and I hope the next city takes that and builds.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I think it's very, it's really great to see, you know, young people take charge of the community as well. I have to point that out, because a lot of the times we do get the older generation that, you know, they've been doing it for years and they continue doing it. But it's really great to actually see younger people taking responsibility and accountability for their community, and actually wanting to carry the legacy that's been carried on by our parents and so on, even further. So, you know, that I think that's a very commendable thing that you guys do, I must say.
Yeah, I want to give kudos to the Dallas community. A big reason Dallas was selected for Waela this year is because of how well our Dallas local Tigray community, Tima, works with the youth, which is TPN Dallas. I think that was maybe even the deciding factor of how Dallas was picked. So yeah, I want to give the Dallas community their flowers, because our Abaiti are actually very fun and funny at times to work with. It has been, a very enlightening experience, and I hope that, you know, future events work out like this in different cities, because as I've talked to my friends about it, they're like, that's not normal. That's not something we experience in our cities. So I hope that it gets better between working between elders, because it has actually been a great experience. I feel like they're very much so still my elders, but that they actually really listen to us and implement a lot of the things that we're, asking for, gladly take tasks from us. So yeah, it's a very different experience.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, this shows how great it can be when, you know, you collaborate in an intergenerational kind of manner. Like, it does not have to be one or the other. A combination of effort is what brings the cows home. So I think I think that's a great thing. The last question I have, I mean, it's a personal question, but how do you, Semien, how do you envision Waela in the next 10 years? Where would you like it to be in the next 10 years?
Wow. I would love for Waela to be an event that gets the majority of funding from like corporation sponsorships. Like I would love for there to be more interaction with that local communities, like different organizations and businesses. So going beyond the Tigray community to really showcase our culture. Like I think sometimes we work in this vacuum, and there's so much great, beautiful, so many things just show that are wonderful about our community that I don't think actually makes it out of that vacuum a lot. So it'd be, I think I envision Waela in 10 years to really look like an event that, you know, people from all over that community, whether they are from Tigray or not, are attending it. And then maybe we can, you know, make the price of the ticket a little less. So then, you know, it's more, you know, more people are able to come. And that's kind of how I envision it. I see it as more of a mixed event and really being able to share our culture and give people a piece of our culture and know how and who Tigray are.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful answer. Yeah. So I think we are done for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing so much information. And we're definitely going to add all the links to this interview so that people can access all the information that they need. And like Semien said, it's not too late to become a sponsor. It's not too late to be involved. So please do not hesitate to actually, you know, be proactive in being involved and supporting the community. And you know, we need to actually show love and support to the Dallas community as well as the community, the TPN community, and also to the organizing committee of Waela Tigray, because they've done, I'm sure, even up till now, I can see how organized and well structured the event is. And I think we need to, you know, actually encourage these kind of events. So thank you so much, Semien, for coming on today, coming on Inside Tigray, explaining everything to us. We really do appreciate your time. And we will see you in Waela.
Thank you. See you all there.
Thank you for watching Inside Tigray. We will be back next time with more topics and more guests.